to you I'd like to introduce to you our speaker. And so if you do not want to be on camera, you can go off camera right now. Uh, but our speaker is, I call him Mr. Positivity. And he is an incredible, incredible person and a wonderful human being. I met him in person last year in Pennsylvania at Tim Sohn, showing up perspectives on cancer. And it's just like I did with Cyan and also Shannon. I met them in person there as well. And we've developed just wonderful, wonderful friendships. And so at this time, I'm going to quit yapping and bring on Mr. Russ Hedge, and he can go over what exactly he's going to be talking about, telling us exactly who he is. And he always he comes all the time, and we thank him for coming in at the last minute because we had another speaker who came up with different travel plans. Russ Hedge, please. The mic is yours.
Well, thank you so much, Mark. And yes, I'm the king of coming always in at the last minute. I thought you were going that direction, but yes, I'm happy to fill in today. At least, it is hard for me because it's in the middle of other things that are going on, other meetings that I have. And so, but I value this group so much. You, Mark, in particular, are just a blessing to me. And I remember the first time we met and you were on my live stream and wow, just what an amazing encouragement, inspiration you are to me. So today I'm going to be talking about the power of perspective. And Shannon got to hear a little of this. This is kind of a slightly altered, and it's going to be a quicker version today because we're probably down to just over a half an hour of time. So I want to make sure that I get through this because I have to actually go at 10. So, but I just want to tell all of you what a blessing you are to me. Those of you even that I've just met, and Dr. Karina, we're going to have to connect. And George's, I sent a connection request to you. Stephen, I'm not sure if we're connected. I think we are, but if we're not connected, please connect with me at russhedge.com or on LinkedIn. Um, Definitely want to, community is so important to me. So important to me. I want to be a blessing to you. And I think you brought this up, George. My faith is very strong. I've been a worship pastor for years. God is my strength and my hope and my light. And I will proclaim that till my last breath. And he is the reason that I'm still here. So I'll talk more about that. I want to start off actually. I want to tell you guys a funny story. Shannon, I don't think has even heard this yet. And I'm not sure that Ariel's heard this. Cyan, I'm not sure you've heard this either, but went to New York this year to Perspectives on Cancer, and I was one of the speakers. And this, what I'm speaking about today is partially what I spoke about there. Loved it. Loved every moment of it. So many amazing friends. Big hugs from Ariel and Shannon. It was great. Wonderful. Had a great time. But I'm a small town boy. So New York's not really my vibe for long term. So I had a great time while I was there, but I was ready to go home. And so when I left, I had to leave the conference about an hour early, and I went downstairs to wait for my driver. And this is going to talk to a little bit about persistence and resilience in life. We have to deal with that with cancer, hanging in there. I went down, and my driver wasn't there, and he's an amazing driver. Friends of mine had him try to take me around, pick me up from the airport. It was amazing. Anyway, he wasn't there. So I thought that was kind of weird. Get a call from him. He told me, hey, we just found out they didn't let everybody know there's a parade on Broadway today, and I can't get to you because I'm on the other side of the parade. And I'm like, okay, so what are we gonna do? He goes, well, hang on a second. I'm gonna try to get around it and do things. So half hour goes by, hour goes by, hour and a half goes by. I'm supposed to be going to the airport, and I am ready to go home. I'm ready to see my beautiful wife. I've enjoyed every moment in New York, but I'm ready to go. So finally, friends come out. Shannon and other friends come out and see me, and they're like, dude, what's going on? And I said, well, my driver is, late, but they're like, we're just going to get you an Uber. And a couple of the ladies jumped into mother mode and we're going to take over. And I said, no, it's okay. Listen, they told me if I walk 5 blocks down, that my driver can pick me up down there. So not thinking about how long New York blocks were. My cancer started on the bottom of my foot. And as the feeling has come back, my foot walking for long distances is starting to hurt my foot. And also, I just had new biopsies because they found more melanoma on my foot where everything started. And so my foot's pretty sore, and I have my suitcase, my backpack. Off I go to walk to my driver. I go one block. One block in New York is about 10 blocks in Oregon. So, I mean, we're talking long blocks. So I get 2 blocks. I'm exhausted. You guys talked about fatigue. My cancer has really fatigued me, the treatment and all of that. So I'm really tired. It's been a long weekend. 3 blocks. I run into the parade and they're saying, nobody through, nobody through. And I decide I am getting through this parade. I'm getting through this parade. So I go into full cancer mode. I say, listen, I have stage 4 invasive melanoma and I have treatment in Portland this week. And I have to get across this parade to get to my driver, to get to the airport, to get home. So I have to get through. Most of the guys completely ignored me. One guy looks at me and has compassion. And I'm like, he opens up the gate to let me through. Everybody's yelling at him. What about nobody through? Don't you know? And I'm saying, shh, thank you, Jesus. Let him walk me through. They stopped the parade on Broadway in New York. I'm going through. Here I am going through the parade. People ask me, what was the parade? I have no idea. I remember they stopped a fire truck. I waved at the fire truck and told them, thank you. Get through the parade. Then I have to go through people's stage to come into the parade, which is another. I'm exhausted. I go another block, another block. I finally find my driver. Long story short, I get in the car. Trying to get out of New York to Newark was another challenge. I had to get to the airport. He finally makes it. My plane is boarding, and I have to go through. I have to go through the security, and so I became a type 1 diabetic because of my treatment. It shut down my pancreas, and so because of my type 1 diabetes, my insulin pump, and all of that, I have to be patted down. I can't go through the radar and all that kind of stuff. So the X-ray. So I go into full cancer mode again. I say, listen, I need somebody's help. I have stage 4 cancer. I have treatment in Portland. I've got to get home. I got to get to my plane. It's boarding now. Thank God and I mean that sincerely. Thank the Lord Jesus that they were kind to me. They got me through. I got to my plane. I got home. But I tell you, after an amazing trip in New York, it was really difficult to get home. I got on that plane. I pre-boarded. I limped on the plane. I pre-boarded. I sat down and I was like, thank you, Jesus. I was so happy that I made it on. But anyway, okay, that is my little story. My wife just laughs every time that I stopped a parade in New York. She goes, only you, honey, would be the one that would be stopping a parade in the middle of Broadway in New York. And yes, that was me. So anyway, I'm going to share my screen here because you've probably seen enough of me already, and I'm going to show you my presentation here. And let me actually get to that. Let's see, share, and I need to get to my presentation. Do. Okay, there we go. All right, and I got to shrink all you down so I can see this. You know, I have learned the power of perspective, living a life filled with hope through my faith, through my strength in God, and through I am a positive guy. I mean, Mark's right. My wife calls me Pollyanna. If you guys have seen that movie, I'm Mr. Happy. That's what everybody knows me as. It's my true God-given ability to inspire and encourage people and to be happy. And so I've been blessed as I've gone through this. It's been quite a journey, which I'll talk a little bit more about. But I think living a life with hope is so, so important. Okay. So I appreciate you all being here. I don't need to welcome you again because we've already done all that. I'm not going to do my laughter exercise today, but let me just make this point. Laughter is truly the best medicine, no matter what you're going through in life. Smiling every morning, I wake up and I put a big smile on my face and I laugh and I enjoy life because it's a choice you make every day. And so I love to do laughter therapy. We don't have time today, but that's what I'm all about. Okay. Also, I'm so thankful this is in the morning, Mark, because I am a morning person. I will be in bed this afternoon sleeping. That's pretty much my routine. Work in the morning, sleep in the afternoon, because of all the just I get weared out through everything and the cancer treatment and all that. But anyway, who am I? I'm a Christ follower, like I told you. I'm a husband of a beautiful, gorgeous wife. I'm going to show you a couple pictures of my family because they, after God, are what keeps me hopeful and with a good perspective. The support of my family, the support of my friends has been amazing. I'm a dad of two amazing adult children, my 34-year-old daughter, Kyla, and my 32-year-old son, Connor, and my beautiful daughter-in-law, Gabby. What an amazing family I have. I'm a cancer survivor because I did survive the first round. I'm still surviving, but I actually got to the point where they said there was no more disease, and we'll talk more about that. But new round of cancer going now, so we'll talk about that a little bit. The other part is not really that important, but I am an inspirational speaker because I love people and I love to talk to people. I'm a marketing coach, live stream producer, lots of live streaming. If you connect with me, you'll see that. This is my beautiful, gorgeous wife, and you can see that I married way up, way up. So she is amazing, beautiful, and I'm so thankful to God every day. What a beautiful woman of God she is, and what a beautiful life mate she is for me. And I could not make it through life without her. This is my gorgeous family, and so blessed. This last June, before my recent diagnosis, they told me, "Hey, Dad, you're turning 60 years young. We want to take you to Hawaii." And I'm like, okay. So they took me to Kona, and I was blessed to be there for a few days with them. This is up on the hill at Kona Coffee, one of my favorite places there. And this is my beautiful daughter right next to me, my daughter-in-law, Gabby, next to her, my son, the tall one, Connor, and my beautiful wife, Leah, again. I was blessed to have two amazing parents. Part of my perspective and part of the way I look at life is because of them, and because, well, a good share of it, not only because the way they raised me, because they were so amazing. I was blessed as a child, but also because I am my mama's son, who is the happiest person alive, or I should say was. I lost both my parents. My dad had lung cancer and also had dementia, and my mama dealt with Alzheimer's and passed just over 2 years ago. They're both in heaven now, and I'm looking forward to seeing them again. But I want to tell you, when my mama was alive, this is how I live and why I have the perspective that I do. She was the happiest person I know. We did happy moments with mama videos, and I've got to show you something here because this will give you a good idea of why I can keep a positive perspective in the midst of challenges. This is in her memory care while she's dealing with Alzheimer's and is quite far along with Alzheimer's. And I did happy moments with mama.
I'm not, I'm not hearing any audio.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay, you guys aren't hearing it.
No.
Okay, that's fine. You know what? I think you get to see on her face, and I'll skip past that. You get to see the joy that she has in the midst of challenges, and that's really the what I want to get across is what a blessing she was to me. And I have memories, lots of those happy moments with mama that started for me, but actually have encouraged thousands of people across the world, and so blessed by her. And so it is a choice you make every day. So how do you live your best life through challenges? You make every moment count. Okay. And time is non-refundable. I love this. Use it with intention. I love this quote. You know what? We all have to realize that every moment we have is precious, and we don't get a do-over on that moment. Once it's gone by, we do not get a do-over. So you know what? We need to be thoughtful about how we're living, no matter what we're going through, no matter what our circumstances, realizing that our circumstances do not define us. So I love this. I am a firm believer in a morning routine. I start my day right every morning with prayer, devotion, and just quiet and exercise. And I love this verse that I read every morning. Let me hear of your unfailing love each morning, for I am trusting you. Show me where to walk, for I give myself to you. I trust God every day to direct me and that He loves me. And that gives me hope. I love this, and I know that you are all muted, but say this with me. Life happens and then you choose. Repeat it after me. Life happens and then you
And then you
choose.
choose.
That's right. And you know what? Let me tell you, that is so true. Every day life's happening to us. Our circumstances, our problems, or even our celebrations. Life is happening and we get to choose where we go from there. You get to choose based on what happens each day. Now, the I love the quote by Ed Milet that says, "Life happens for you, not to you." I truly believe that. I believe that everything, even my cancer, is happening for me, making me a blessing and an opportunity to inspire and encourage other people. God has used me in so many ways through my cancer journey. And so I believe this every day. Life happens, and then I make that choice. Where am I going from there? I choose positivity. You know, life is a matter of choices, says John Maxwell, and every choice you make makes you. They are compiling. The average person makes 35,000 choices every day. Every 24 hours, the average human being makes 35,000 choices. Now, a lot of those are subconscious, but a lot of them are conscious, and they're making little things every day. I'm choosing to click to the next slide. I'm choosing what I'm saying to you. I'm choosing where I'm looking. I'm choosing how I'm feeling. Every moment, we're making choices. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story, and this is why it's to be continued. I It began July of 2022 when I found what my beautiful wife and I thought was a wart on the bottom of my foot. And so about a month later, I told my beautiful wife, I don't think this is a wart. And she said, why? I said, well, because now it's the size of a quarter and it's black. So I went into my dermatologist. They biopsied. Sure enough, invasive melanoma immediately referred me to OHSU in Portland, which is a huge, amazing hospital in Portland. And so up I went, and they found this, and they were going to do surgery on my foot. Though they removed half of my instep, and they had to move the other half over and rebuild my entire instep. So a lot of plastic surgery went into that. That's part of my foot problems I was talking about. And but praise God, I can walk. So I'm very thankful for that. But anyway, when they did that surgery, they also did a thing called lymph node mapping. And I'm sure many of you know what this is. Stuck a needle on the bottom of my foot. They followed the dye to where they thought if the cancer had traveled and metastasized, where would it have gone to? They removed a lymph node, and we thought no big deal. They thought they got it early and everything was going to be fine. But unfortunately, they found a tumor in my groin. So immediately went into treatment, and they did treatment on my body, immunotherapy infusions. The first round went pretty seamless, just tired and a few minor issues, but nothing major. And only to find out there was still cancer there, and I wasn't doing good afterwards. So they switched up the drug. Unfortunately, this time the drug kind of blew up my body. It shut down my pancreas. I became a type 1 diabetic. It messed with my eyes, had to have eye surgery, my ears, was about to get a cochlear implant. I'll explain that in a moment. And that also messed up with all of my digestion and a lot of problems with my body. So they stopped that and they did surgery again. They removed most of the lymph nodes in my upper right groin, and voila, back came from the hospital and the tumor board. Cancer was gone, no sign of disease. I was praising God. I was thankful. And I was on a quarterly check. Every 3 months, I was in for a PET scan, and occasionally had an MRI. And so everything was going along well till about a year later, when they did this summer, they did the PET scan, and they found something they didn't like. They biopsied in my groin. They found another tumor. They found two nodules, cancer in my lungs, one on each side. They found a tumor in my brain. It had traveled all the way to my brain. And so they immediately went back into treatment. And then I just had my foot rechecked, and my dermatologist found more melanoma on my foot. So I'm treating that as well. So this was not the kind of news you want to get. But being the positive perspective guy that I am, talked to my doctor, and she said, I told her, I said, okay, what would you do for you? And she goes, this is the treatment that I would do if it was on myself. I said, great, let's do that. Can we start yesterday? And she goes, well, we can start pretty quick. So about a week later, they started. It was again infusions, immunotherapy infusions. And I asked her, I said, so with these infusions, what are my chances now at stage 4 cancer? What are my chances? She said, well, she's a wonderful doctor, but she's just speaking medically. She said, well, you have a 20% chance of remission. You have a 40% of partial remission and the cancer coming back. And I said, okay, well, thank you for that. I appreciate you. I said, so you're telling me in the flip side terms that I have a 68% chance, medically speaking, of failure. And she said, yes, that's true. And I said, and we know what failure means. And she goes, that's true. And I said, well, it's a good thing I serve a big God because I'm believing for much better outcomes. And she looked at me and she goes, okay. They like my positive attitude. They tell me that that is my number one thing going for me. And that definitely is helping me through this process. So anyway, to this point today, I am doing immunotherapy infusions. They're keeping a close eye on my organs. I've had some digestive issues, a lot of heavy fatigue that I'm dealing with, but we're still moving forward. Looking forward to December, about a month from now, when I'm going to get retested. I'll have an MRI and a PET scan, and they'll check everything out. So I am believing for good results. I'm expecting good things to happen. And what I've learned through this whole thing, that you got to keep moving forward with hope. You got to be hopeful. You got to have positive perspective. I'm thankful for what I do have, not for what I don't have. I live with purpose every day, and I realize that my circumstances do not define who I am. What I have does not define who I am. I do another full presentation, which I'm not going to go into today, but I talk about the 4 P's of that drive my power of perspective. And I'm just going to give you a quick overview on those since we don't have a lot of time. But the power of perspective to me is made up of 4 things: passion, purpose, persistence, and people. Let me tell you that in life, no matter what you're going through, where you're at, if you have passion for life, if you have passion for others, I have a passion to inspire and encourage others through all that I'm going through. I want to lift other people up and bless them. That is what I'm all about. And it gives me purpose. My purpose in life, my why in life is to inspire and encourage each one of you to live a purpose-driven life of significance. What do I mean by that? I want you to be world changers and difference makers and inspire others and make a difference with the God-given talents that you've been given. And I just am so thankful that each one of us has that. A little bit amazing, I believe, a little bit of amazing in each one of us, just waiting to burst out and bless other people, give to other people, serve other people. And so I really believe that's true. And that's what I'm all about. That's what my purpose is about. Having purpose helps you keep a good perspective, helps you move forward with life. Persistence. Well, my immediate or my initial story about my persistence and going after things and sticking with it, trying to get to the airport to get home, is what I'm all about. Being persistent. I'm going to be persistent in what I'm doing, my care. And for those of you who mentioned holistic care, I do some natural things. And right now I'm working with the doctors on what they are doing for me. But I talk with and work with a lot of holistic people, including friends in New York when I was there. And I am all about holistic approach to life. And so I'm very persistent, going to keep reaching out, going to keep going after things with all that I have till my last breath. I'm going to praise God and inspire people. That's what I'm all about. And people, speaking of people, you know what? We are better together. I love that phrase. And people are what I'm all about. Connection and building community. That's what I love about this cancer conquering community. It's all about us coming together. It's all about us loving and blessing each other and helping each other through what we're going through. When I was at the conference in New York, I had people like Shannon, like Ariel people saying to me, whatever you need, I'm there. I will help you. I will be there for you. That is the kind of people that I want in my life because I want to be that for others. And so I am acting on a positive perspective. We can have it, but if we don't act on it, then it's not going to do a lot of good. I love this quote by Chuck Swindoll that says, I am convinced that life is 10% of what happens to me and 90% of how I react to it. And that is so true. You know, things are happening, life happens, and then you choose, right? And so it is happening all day long, and we're making choices. I love this quote by Johnny Erickson Tada. If you don't know her, she's a quadriplegic from a diving accident when she was 19 years old, has been an amazing influence, positive, encourager, and bless so many people without the use of her arms and legs. Perspective is everything when you're experiencing challenges in life. How many people here today you can say to me, and I can't see you right now, but I raise your hand just for your own good. If you believe that that perspective makes such a big difference when you're encountering your cancer, when you're encountering all that you're going through in life, whatever it may be, it makes all the difference in the world to keep a positive perspective. Now, choosing a hope perspective does not mean that you're happy every moment of the day. I am Mr. Happy, and there are definitely moments when I am not happy. When my cancer treatment, the last one before this round that I'm on currently, kind of blew up in my body, I had a really rough time, and I was not happy when I had high temperatures. I was throwing up constantly. I had rashes everywhere. It shut down my pancreas and my body went wacko. And I ended up in the hospital calling 911, getting to the hospital because my blood sugar went crazy. Those things happen to us. But you know what? We can choose a good perspective in the midst of all of those things. So I just am always choosing a hope perspective, believing and hoping for a better day tomorrow. My dad used to always say, his quote to me was, son, you know, I'm having a bad day. Things aren't going well. He would look at me and go, son, tomorrow's a new day. And what he meant by that was get a good night's sleep, wake up with a fresh perspective. It's a whole new day for you to be hopeful and look at what's going on in your future and not be negative because of what's happening to you. So my question to you is, what is your life perspective? Where are you right now? I think most of you are probably doing really well, but we all have our days. So think about that. What is your life perspective? Say it with me again. Life happens and then you choose. I want to tell you, hear that echoing my voice in your day and your brain every day. Life happens and then you choose. Life happens and sometimes it sucks and sometimes it's not good and sometimes it's okay to not be okay. But you know what? Life is happening for you. So as life happens, then you get to choose. Where do you go from there? Get through your emotional time. Get through your sobbing. The other morning, I found out a dear friend that just messaged me 2 weeks ago, just passed away a couple days ago. She just found out she had cancer 2 weeks ago. And within less than those 2 weeks, after she messaged me and asked me to pray for her, she passed away. I'm telling you, that really hit me hard. It hit me really hard. I was on my way to work. I called my daughter and I was bawling. I was bawling. I had to go through that emotion because it was the loss of somebody that I was really hopeful for and praying for, but it happened so quickly. Life is so short when you've got to live every moment that you're going through. So be passionate, live with purpose, be persistent in all that you do and do life with people, right? Come together in community like we're doing. I live life with purpose and on purpose. And I'm telling you, every day, that's the only way to live. Up, let me go the right direction here. There we go. I'll go backwards in my presentation. I choose hope every day. And I love these hands. By the way, I just got to give a huge shout out to my amazing business partner, who's just incredible. And she does all these things for me ever. And she's amazing, amazing help to me. I could not do this without her. So choose joy. I was going to play a little video at the end, but you guys can't hear it. So I'm going to have to skip that part. But I want to tell you, we are better together. Choose people and be in community. Love each other, help each other, pray for each other, live the life you choose, which is the subtitle of my book. It's up to you. You can do it. And I want to just give you this before I go. Contact information, russhedge.com. If you know my name, that's my website, everything about me. And also you can email me at russ@russhedge.com. There's my phone number. I love LinkedIn. as well. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing and come back to you guys. And Mark, do you want me to stop the recording?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and stop the recording right now?
Okay,
And
let me.
I just want to say that that was absolutely fantastic, Russ. And I know I figured out the key. That was the best I've ever seen you. And